वेलकम और वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल जिसका नाम है काम की बातें, जहां पर आप इंग्लिश सीखते हैं फ़न एंड इजी वे में। तो जैसे कि आपको थंबनेल से पता ही लग गया है, आज की वीडियो स्टोरी से रिलेटेड होने वाली है। आप इंग्लिश सीखने वाले हैं स्टोरी के साथ में। एंड अगर आपको हिंदी टू इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन सीखनी है तो आप मेरे चैनल पर विजिट कर सकते हैं, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं इससे रिलेटेड, क्योंकि बहुत सारी वीडियोज़ मेरे चैनल पर डली हुई हैं। एंड आज की वीडियो बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाली है, क्योंकि इसमें मैं 3 स्टोरीज़ लेकर आई हूँ आपके लिए। एक स्टोरी है मैजिकल पोट की, एक है रैट एंड लॉयन की, एंड एक है रैबिट एंड फॉक्स की। तो ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा मज़ेदार होने वाली है। तो बिना किसी देरी के आज की वीडियो को हम शुरू करते हैं। लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। In a lush green forest, there lived a clever little rabbit named Bunty. He was small but very smart. All the animals admired Bunty for his quick thinking and kindness. One sunny morning, Bunty hopped out of his burrow to gather carrots for breakfast. As he reached the carrot patch, he heard a growl behind him. It was Bruno, the big bad wolf. Bruno licked his lips and said, "Ah, a tasty little rabbit for my lunch." Bunty was scared but didn't let it show. He thought quickly and said, "Oh, Bruno, I'm glad you are here. I was just about to invite you to the Forest King's Fest." Bruno stopped in his tracks. "A feast?" he asked, surprised. "Yes," Bunty replied. "The lion our king has invited all the animals for a grand feast, but only those who look clean and shiny can attend." Bruno, who was dirty from rolling in the mud, frowned. "Do I look clean and shiny?" Bunty shook his head. "Not at all. You should go to the river and take a bath right away." Excited about the fest, Bruno ran to the river and jumped in. While Bruno splashed, I scrubbed. Bunty quickly grabbed his carrots and hopped back to his burrow. When Bruno returned to the forest, he realized there was no feast. He grumbled and stormed. But Bunty was safe and sound, enjoying his breakfast. The other animals laughed and praised Bunty for his cleverness. From that day on, Bruno thought twice before trying to catch the smart little rabbit. Moral of the story is quick thinking and calmness can help you outsmart any problem. मतलब अगर आप शांति से किसी चीज़ के बारे में सोचते हैं तो एकदम से आपको आइडिया आ जाता है, किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को इजीली हैंडल कर सकते हैं आप। स्टोरी 2। Once upon a time, in a dense jungle, a mighty lion named Leo ruled over all the animals. He was strong and fierce, and everyone was afraid of him. One sunny afternoon, after a heavy meal, Leo lay down under a big tree and fell fast asleep. As he snored loudly, a tiny mouse named Mimi came out of her hole nearby. Mimi was playful and loved exploring. She started running around and accidentally climbed onto Leo's back. Suddenly, Leo woke up. Roar! He growled, shaking the ground. He trapped Mimi under his huge paw. "How dare you disturb my sleep, little mouse?" he roared. "I will eat you for this." Mimi trembled with fear but quickly said, "Oh, mighty King Leo, please spare my life. I am so tiny. I won't even make a proper meal for you." If you let me go, I promise to help you one day. Leo laughed loudly. A tiny mouse like you help me? That's the funniest thing I have ever heard. But he was in a good mood, so he lifted his paw and let Mimi go. Thank you, Your Majesty, Mimi squeaked and scurried away. A few days later, Leo was walking through the jungle when he got caught in a hunter's net. The ropes were strong, and no matter how much he roared and struggled, he couldn't free himself. Hearing his loud roars, Mimi ran to see what had happened. She saw the mighty lion trapped and shouted, "Don't worry, King Leo, I will save you." Leo looked at her and said, "How can a tiny mouse help me?" Mimi smiled and quickly started nibbling the ropes with her sharp teeth. Bit by bit, she chewed through the net until it finally broke. Leo was free. Leo stood up and looked at the little mouse in amazement. You were right, Mimi, he said. Even the smallest creatures can be a big help. Thank you. From that day on, Leo and Mimi became best friends. The lion learned never to underestimate anyone, no matter how small. Moral of this story, नो वन इज़ टू स्मॉल टू मेक अ बिग डिफरेंस. मतलब एक छोटे से रैट ने कैसे लॉयन की जान बचाई, तो छोटी छोटी जो चीज़ें होती हैं वो बहुत बड़ी हो जाती हैं. मतलब कोई छोटा पर्सन है वो भी काफ़ी चीज़ें क्रिएट कर सकता है बड़ी. स्टोरी 3. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a poor farmer named Hari. He worked hard every day, but no matter how much he toiled, he barely earned enough to feed his family. One day, while digging in his field, Hari's spade hit something hard. Curious, he dug deeper and found an old rusty pot buried in the soil. A strange pot, Hari thought as he pulled it out. It looked ordinary, but there was something magical about it. Out of curiosity, he placed the pot in his hut and dropped a few grains of wheat into it. To his surprise, the pot began to glow and the grains multiplied. Hari couldn't believe his eyes. He put more grains and the pot doubled them again. Excited, Hari tested the pot with other things. He placed one coin inside and the pot turned it into two. Then he put in a mango and out came two mangoes. Hari realized he had found a magical pot that could double anything. Over the next few days, Hari used the pot wisely. He doubled his crops and coins, becoming one of the richest farmers in the village. However, he stayed humble and shared his wealth with his neighbors, helping them buy food and clothes. But soon the news of the magical pot reached a greedy merchant in the village. The merchant came to Hari and said, Sell me your pot and I will give you a bag of gold." Hari smiled and said, "I don't need gold. This pot is not for sale." The merchant became angry and decided to steal it. That night he sneaked into Hari's hut and grabbed the pot. But as he tried to run away, he tripped and fell. Dropping the pot rolled into a river and disappeared forever. Hari was sad but not upset. He realized that the real magic was not the pot, but his hard work and generosity. He continued to work on his farm and lived happily with his family, loved and respected by everyone in the village. Moral of the story is greed can lead to loss, but kindness and hard work bring true happiness. अगर आप मेहनत करते हैं तो आपको हैप्पीनेस मिलेगी, बट आप ग्रीडी हैं, लालची हैं, तो आपको लॉस ही होने वाला है. दैट्स इट फॉर टुडेज. आज की वीडियो आपको कैसी लगी और उन तीनों स्टोरी में से आपको सबसे ज़्यादा कौन सी इंटरेस्टिंग लगी मुझे कमेंट में ज़रूर बताना. एंड अगर आपको इंग्लिश टू हिंदी और हिंदी टू इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन सीखना है तो इससे रिलेटेड मेरे चैनल पर बहुत सारी वीडियो चली हैं, आप जाके चेकआउट कर सकते हैं. मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना, वीडियो को शेयर करना. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. टिल देन बाय बाय.